Welcome to Luvthemknives channel. We've got a TwoSun knife with us today. And isn't that a good looking one? We got carbon fiber on both sides. Really, it's a bolster lock, isn't it? Titanium frame. It's a front flipper called the Megalodon. It is a jelly jerry design with 14C28N satin blade on it. There's the pocket clip. Looks like it comes in from underneath. So that's a clean look. The hardware's nice. I mean, it's just the way they're doing them these days is just really, really nice. How much does it cost? Good question. What are you going to pay for it? I haven't seen it in the AliExpress store. I haven't seen it with that certain seller that does them on Amazon. So you bid on them on eBay, and if you win, then you win. So whatever that price ends up being, and I think they've been, I mean, they're getting right there where they're hanging fire between $80 and $110, somewhere in that range. So it just depends. And it's, I just like the setup. It's really nicely done here with this pocket clip. I like the fact they put a little bit of a design statement there. The back spacer's nice. Got jimping along the back spacer. We'll take this one apart, take a look at it. You've got this fuller who runs here, and there's where you got your TwoSun. So it's not overstated, at least. It's not billboarded up too bad. Now, will it cut anything? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty darn sharp. And how much does it weigh? Let's find out. Oh, we got 139 grams. 4.91 ounces, so really 5 ounces, under 5. Not bad for a pretty decent sized knife, and it is a pretty good sized knife. It's really close to 3 3/4, let's say 3.65 inch blade at, give it 92, 93 millimeters, and overall 8.5 at 21.5 centimeters. And it's nice and contoured. The carbon fiber looks good. And so, yeah, I mean, I think the ergos are pretty good. I don't know exactly why he did this. I'm not a big fan for when they come down and kind of thin it out here on the bottom. Because, yeah, you can feel that. And if you're not hitting it right, you're going to hit it wrong. And I'm hitting it wrong right there. So, fingers are flexible to a degree, can take some of that inequity. And so, yeah, but you see the dent right there. Yeah. This could have been smoothed out and made way more neutral. Actually, I don't know why you couldn't have just run that like that. To me, that's more attractive. So here I am, I'm always bitching and moaning about something, but whoop, went the wrong way with that. Front flipper, so you've got jimping up here. Yeah, I mean, that works fine. The problem with a front flipper is you got no flipper tab to hit you in the thumb. So when this comes swinging around, you need to know where it's going to end up. And it's going to end up right there. And it's going to cut your finger open. So you can't be too cavalier about when you drop it. You need to make sure, first of all, that you get your thumb out of the way at some point in time. So on the front flippers, I just kind of tilt them down and let them drop out. And that's not over the detent ball. Now it is. It's got a nice drop and it's centered up. I'm not getting any blade play or lock rock. And we're at 40% probably on that. Hardened steel insert, over travel stop, if nothing other than just the carbon fiber here to act as an over travel stop. We'll know more when we get into it. You really can't do weight relieving inside because you've already machined away a lot of area to do these inlays. So it looks like these screws help hold on the inlay and this screw up front as well. And then your entree is from the back and not from the front as far as disassembly of the pivot. But yeah, it's okay, and you can go forward a bit, and that's comfortable as well, but don't be too cavalier because that's sharp right there. But you can nudge up, and you've got that fuller, which is kind of nice for being able to do that. And that's kind of how I situate myself with a lot of these front flippers. Front flippers is great, and a lot of people are chasing front flippers and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. I get it, but I think it's a phase type thing, and I don't think it's going to hang fire for a long time because too many people are going to, that thing's going to come flying out of your hand, hitting the floor too often. It has to be set up just right to be good at front flipping. And it has to give you the ability to have confidence of where you're gripping the knife when you do that. I feel better with my thumb right here and my finger right there. I feel I've got it. I feel like I've got it between here and here, even if I'm flicking it. And with a flipper tab, the good thing is you've got it all the way up and down both sides. But with this, you don't have anything here holding this knife. And so that makes it more precarious. You just kind of got it clutched in here. And if you've got a front flipper and you've done a lot of this, then you know. And I can't tell you how many guys had told me that the knife came right out of their hands, sailing, across the room when they weren't being careful and paying attention. So it does demand a bit more than when you can just have all your fingers in play like that and you've got it. Okay. I guess I understand the fascination and the novelty, and the design flow is nice because you don't have a flipper tab hanging down here. Your contact patch is going to be better because you don't have a flipper tab down there. So there's some actual practical concerns there. And the Megalodon here is what it's called. It's the TS229, but it's the Megalodon, according to Mr. Jelly Jerry. Interesting. TwoSun boxes, just still the same. No change there. But yeah, this one is a great looking design overall. I really like the fact that he filled the body out with the carbon fiber. I like this whole thing. Actually, I don't like knives that start out big here and then winnow out to a point here. So the fact that this stays either the same or actually gets a little fatter out near the end, it's not bad. But really, tell you the truth, I could have cut all that off on both sides and actually felt better about the whole style. Rather than dropping this down, you're doing a lot of extra machining, I think, for nothing, especially, as far as ergos go. Now, where's my balance point on this? And I think I'm going to feel like I got to do it right here on this. And I think it is really, really close to that. And there it is. Yeah, it is. I guess we'll know more about, there's the stop. It's almost set up a lot of these where they have an internal, but this is an external stop. Really good looking knife. Fit and finish is great on these. Fit and finish is good. Excellent. I really like it. So the way they've really gone around here all the way, the plunge looks symmetrical. Am I going to be able to touch this blade? No. And then, of course, this stops you from being able to do that as well, but really, no. And then here we are with the backspacer, and we've come all the way around the mountain, going back up. And so, no, that's all we could really do considering the way that we did this. Okay, but we got an 8.5-inch knife with a 3.6-inch blade. And, you know, if you look at this, this is a 3.5-inch blade and an 8.25-inch knife overall. So you really had to make this knife longer because you did this. I mean, instead of just, you could have stopped right here. And so you could have cut this much off the length of the knife and been fine still with the length of the blade. But instead, and let me try and get these lined up. I mean, this one's actually a 1/4 inch longer. Yeah, I don't know. Is that unnecessary? Did it need to do this? I could have rounded this off and then taken this lower section off, and I think it would have been tremendous. So, I don't know. I guess this is probably not my favorite Jelly Jerry design. I'd say still, I've got several others that I'm more favorable towards, but really, this will have a lot of appeal, visual appeal to a lot of people. And what do we got? 3.7 millimeter blade stock at 0.14. Overall, 0.57 at 14.5. So, I mean, it's, I won't be able to get over much beyond there. But no, that's pretty thick in the hand too. So it does make you feel like you've got good purchase on the knife, because it does fill out the hand, and that's because of the contour. So really, there's a lot about this knife to like. I just some odd things that I would have changed, especially once you get it in hand. And I don't know if these designers are allowed to have a proto in their hand before it goes to full production. Maybe someday I'll find out if I do my own design. And I like the fact that they did some kind of big old chunky jimping here, and it's not overly sharp. This blade here is interesting, how they've done this grind. And it should have, I mean, it's got a lot of belly, right? So, piercing, slicing shouldn't be bad at all. Shouldn't be that difficult to sharpen either. Well, let's take her apart. What the heck, right? Well, I'm holding that screw on the other side. Well, not a problem there. And then so the pocket clip, come on. You're dangling around there, aren't you? Oh, okay, there you go, finally. You hanging up behind the pocket clip. They look the same size. Interesting here. And so we've got this pivot surround, just like that. And then there's underneath of that. And of course, I guess, well, to take the insert out, then you need to remove the pocket clip, which I don't know if that's a number 8. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Okay. You can do that, and let me see if it's the same size. Yeah, it looks the same size as the others. And then this looks like a little number 6 in here, and it is. Okay. And that fits pretty tight in there. And then here's the pocket clip out. And is the insert going to come to me? Okay. There she goes. Oh, here's this little piece that this little piece that comes up through here, I guess. And helps secure the pocket clip right there. Okay. Interesting. Then it backs up against this backspacer to keep it from pushing on through and secures the pocket clip. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that's real carbon fiber. And I'm going to just slide this back in here. But we've got a hardened steel insert and ceramic detamp ball. D-shape on here, so we know that this thing will not turn unnecessarily because we have a D-shaped pivot. And we have ceramic bearings. And looks pretty clean through here. And then we've got a little detent ramp, which is really nice, built in through here. All right, I guess we can put this back together. We've got the presentation side, and of course, we're dropping everything out of here, aren't we? Here's where the D shape is faced, and I believe that matches up, yeah, facing this way, flat spot. And then, of course, we have these two lovelies that are going to go through the backspacer. There's our backspacer laying down with us. We're going to have support underneath these. Put a bearing on. And not much. We don't need much lubrication there. This didn't really disconnect this stop, but there it is. And here's the washer. It's got that little groove running around it, so we're going to face that down for the bearings. So we got all that junk, but we are going to have to put our pocket clip on before we get around to anything else, aren't we? So this needs to get, and it's the same size screw as the other body screws. So that's a good thing because then you're not going to get confused on that. And there we go. So let's put this on. Make sure this pivot is lined up correctly. Okay, that is, so far, so good. Let's put a pivot, surround the pivot screw in. Oop, come on. Do a body screw. And got it locked down. And we still got that little scale screw to put in. All right, next. And that should be it. That should be all, and it should be centered, and it looks like it is. no blade play. Okay, back with our TS229 Megalodon front flipper. Few things, you know, that I would have changed on it, but I do like the overall design. That's why I got it, because I really did want to check it out, and I am a big fan of Jelly Jerry Designs. And I don't trust the drop because I don't need to get cut. So I'm just going to be careful with it. But the action's great. I mean, just get it over the detamp ball, but don't let her swing around and bite you, because she will. All right. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, the Megalodon TS229. I mean, I like it. Take care, my friends. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.